Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man, aka Prophet Howard. Now, I like to follow up some things that I say normally on Sundays, the Sunday sermons, with a little more calmer demeanor. I know some of y'all, you so small-minded that you can't listen to preaching unless it's hollering. But I want to talk to y'all a little bit about something. So I just did a short on what I have coined as the God game. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit more so you can understand what the Most High showed me about this game that people are playing with each other, and some are being negatively affected by it. For starters, let's just say this. People are innately evil and quicker to gravitate towards the evil than the good. This is something you have to understand in dealing with them. So the God game is it's basically a game that people play nowadays. It's part of the cancel culture, It's a game that people play nowadays. And they do this at work. They do this in your neighborhoods. Your neighbor could be doing it. They do it especially on streaming video and online social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. They do it on dating sites. This is a game that people play. The God game is when people think they are too good for you, when people think they are better than you, so they respond to you in such ways. They do it on YouTube. People that might not get that many views on their videos. Some of the people who get more views on their videos, not only will they ignore their comments, and they go to your, when they see your icon, a lot of them will click on, oh, he ain't nobody. That's the God game. Oh, he ain't nobody. So they don't respond to your comments. But yet you'll super chat them. You'll PayPal. You'll send PayPal. You'll send cash apps to these people who don't think nothing of you because they have what some call a God complex, but I call it playing the God game. First of all, let me talk to all of you, and let me disclaimer, I like a lot of creators on YouTube, but I don't like anybody enough to view them even remotely near how I view the Most High God. And y'all gotta understand some things. Some of these people you look up to so much won't even acknowledge you. And their dookie smells worse than yours. Like if y'all dookied in side-by-side bathroom and somebody did a stinky dookie test, some of these people that you want around so bad, your dookie smells like a fresh aroma compared to theirs. Some of these women, y'all just be all thirsty in their DMs, in the comments on their YouTube videos. They have diseases that you ain't never caught. And they play the God game. These people play the God game. These people, some of them have criminal records, which you want to know about, but you don't want to hold it against somebody. You should be watching everybody with the same eye. If people come to your house, you should be watching them all, whether they have a criminal record or not. Because some people have done more things and never gotten a criminal record than people that have. That's just the way it is. So you should be watching everybody. You should know how to judge things. You should know Don't feel bad if you make a post on Facebook and nobody responds. They don't respond because they're playing the God game. Whatever they view as God, whether it be themselves, money, status, popularity, if you don't have it, a lot of times they're not going to respond to you. And I'm telling you, when people do you like this, don't shut them out the first time. Give them a chance to improve. If they do you like this 2, 3, 4, 5 times, just stop talking to them. Stop talking to them. Like, it's a lot of people I grew up with, I'm not talking to them no more. Because when I say things to them, and they'll make you look fake. They'll make you look bad. Let me give you an example. Let's say you giving your testimony and you used to be like a hood guy. And you say that you from a certain hood, right? And guys that used to be scared of you, now they don't respond to you. That makes you look like, to the people that you've told about, you've given your testimony to, a fraud. That's why you shouldn't keep talking to people who playing the God game. A lot of y'all need to turn your relatives loose. Just because they relatives don't make them family. Being a blood relative does not make you family. Like, I got cousins that I just met that act more like family than cousins that I knew my whole life. And I got cousins that I just found out we was cousins that act like more like family than cousins that I already knew long ago that we was cousins and dealt with them for a while. Now, why does this happen? Let me just go off screen. Y'all know I don't want to. If they want to endorse me, okay, I'll show it one time. Venom, if you want to endorse me, I'll endorse your product. You got to endorse me. That's your only chance. Now, back to what I'm saying. You have relatives that play the God game. They think sometimes because they might think. Sometimes they'll think they have more money than you, even though they don't. Because you might be a person who don't talk about what you have, or you filed bankruptcies in the past and your family is still judging you by that. Or you might have failed businesses. Don't worry about them. They playing the God game. They're playing the God game. I could write a book about this. They're playing the 2022 God game. Stop talking to them. Stop dealing with them. Let them call you for a change. Don't even call them. And don't feel bad if something happens to them in the process because they were playing the God game. Hey, you put this wedge between us, not me. Or, another way they play the God game is you have some people that deal with certain kids and grandkids more than others. That's playing the God game. They act like they have 4 grandkids when they really have 9. They're playing the God game. They're whatever they deem as God. Like, and some people, light skin. Maybe your kids is dark. Don't even deal with them no more. Don't let them make you feel bad, because these people are being used on each other by the devils and demons to make you not enjoy this life that you have. You're supposed to enjoy life every day, but because you give in to the God game, some of y'all are depressed, some of y'all are stressed out, some of y'all you hate your job. Because they playing the God game. They help the co-workers they like better more. They talk to the co-workers they like better more. So freaking what? Either you're gonna quit which in some cases you probably should. In some cases, you might want to find something else first. Or you just gonna be like, they just stupid. I don't even care about them. I'm not here for them. Don't give in to the God game. You got the ones who will gossip about you and they slandering you. So now the people that were talking to you don't talk to you no more. You got fake friends out here. You got people who will use you to pass the time. Don't call them no more. Let them call you. Don't deal with them. Don't try to encourage them. Listen, how long you gonna be depressed, man? Like, how long do I have to encourage you? Aren't you a man like me? And then some of them will have less problems than you have. They just being wimpy and weak. They playing the God game. I'm supposed to drop everything for you? Come on, man. That's the God game. I'm supposed to do things the way you want me to do? That's the God game. And a lot of people is playing it. And everybody that's playing it, you might want to decide, is this one I want to keep dealing with? Maybe you have to check him up, put him in his place. Sometimes that's just the way it is. But only God can be God. Only the God can be your God. Everybody else, that's what's called idolatry. Idols. You a fan. You can be a fan. Just don't make those that you are a fan of idols. Because when you do that, you giving in to the God game. So what if you great at dunking and I like seeing people dunk? You still just a person to me. And I'm not gonna like people be at basketball games and they'll be like a fan of a player. And then they finally in position, hey, there he is. There's such and such. And the dude just look at him like, man, you broke, man. You a peasant. Don't talk to me. You overstepped your boundaries. You gave in to the God game. Y'all do that with YouTubers. Y'all give them all these super chats, then you see them in person, and they're funny acting. It's easy. Just stop super chatting them. Stop talking to them, and if they that funny acting, unsubscribe. Don't deal with them no more. Find somebody else. Some of y'all is the reason why people is narcissistic. And some of y'all is the reason why people is arrogant, conceited, cocky. Listen, when I step in a room, I can step in a room with 1,000 of the most beautiful women in the world. It ain't gonna matter. I'ma still be myself. I'm not gonna be, oh my gosh, oh, they're so pretty, blah, 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 blah. You know what I do? I think about the bad and the good. Like y'all just big booty crazy, but some of them big booties stink. Some of y'all will really be turned off if you stayed with some of these girls a week and they didn't shower for a week. They big old booty gonna stink. It's gonna smell like dookie. It's gonna smell like fish. It's gonna smell like everything. You shouldn't have been playing the God game. That's another reason why people break up like they do. Because they gave in to the God game. You should have just treated this person like an everyday regular person instead of exalting them like they this and like they that. I hear YouTuber content creators, well, this person get this many views. This person got to listen. Especially if you an agent, and I'm gonna still talk at this level. If you an agent, man, you ain't nothing, man. Your subscriptions are fraud. They're fraud. They're fraudulent. You got grifters on YouTube. Y'all know what a grifter is? Look it up. Grifter. They're grifters. Some of them don't even believe the stuff they endorse, and they don't live like that. And one in particular told somebody, I'm just doing this for money. You know who you is. Your little sideways messages towards me and others. Listen, man, I don't hate you, and I'm not hating on you. If you were talking about me, I don't hate you, and I'm not hating on you. And if you think back, I was really like, before you blew up, I was really like right there for you on your team. You start acting funny. You was playing the God game. You start acting funny, so I stopped calling in. I stopped supporting you. I think I know why you did it, because I'm a prophet. Here's why I think you did it. You did it because of that email. And the other person was being messy by showing you that. Because it wasn't even like that. It wasn't like that. And that starts, since to this day, I look at that other person different from that. They both was playing the God game. That's exactly what I be talking about with this God game. When you fall out with somebody, if you fell out through misunderstanding, it's up to them to come to you. You know whether or not it was a misunderstanding. You know what your role was in the whole thing. It's for them to come to you. If you go to them first, you playing the God game. In a marriage, if one person actions, whether over emotional, whatever the reason be, mess up the relationship, you don't wait no years and let it get worse. You're supposed to go to that person if you was in the wrong, or they come to you. If they was in the wrong and they didn't come to you, and they still trying to defend themselves, they playing the God game. It's time for you to turn them loose. That's what the God game is. The God game is when people think that they're better than you, they're smarter than you, they have more than you, they more blessed than you, they think you got bad luck, they think you're slow, they think you're goofy, they think something is wrong with you, and all this other stuff, and they treat you as such. Guys, young guys especially, stop being thirsty. If you have to, get it done yourself. But stop being thirsty on these females, because you're making them worse. Think about it. If 3,000 guys is in a woman's DM, one woman's DM, and she chooses to deal with, let's say 100 of them have the check mark that they talk about, and she deals with all 100 of them in a year, and she didn't respond to you, she smashed all of them at least once. That means that she got smashed 100 times. And you sweating somebody that got smashed 100 times. But she not responding to you because she's playing the God game. You don't have what she's looking for. Forget her, man. She a 304, she a EOH anyways. Why you still talking to her? Stop playing the God game. And stop letting people play the God game on you. That Facebook, if you got, listen, let me show you something. If you make posts all the time and nobody don't respond, this is what I want you to do. Take your pick. Either unfriend all of them, or only post what they, look at their posts carefully. What do they value the most? Only post when you have that. And if they don't like your post, if they don't respond, either just keep making them jealous or unfriend all of them. Because everybody you think is your friend is not your friend. Very few people have friends. Very few people are friends. Most people are enemies. Or they will be if you deal with them enough. And think real hard. All you gotta do is think real hard, man. Just go back in time. And I'm finna close. Go back in time and think about some of the things and behaviors that they had towards you. You know, that stuff like they were supposed to come pick you up and they didn't. And 20 years later, they still acted funny towards you. Why are you talking to them? Let them see your success and then don't deal with them. But y'all, what y'all do, y'all feel bad. Like, man, ain't nobody liking my post. Maybe your posts are too deep for them. Maybe your posts are too much substance. Maybe your posts hold people accountable for their behaviors too much. Maybe they're just too shallow for your page. But never view yourself on a lower level because of these people. Come on now. If you was honest within and with yourself, it's more quiet when you by yourself. You could think more. It's freedom, it's peace. Some of y'all is downplaying yourself because you want the company of people who are playing the God game. So what if you're single? So what? Are you single because of you or because of these other people? If you're single because of you, then you need to get better. And you need to be honest with the potential suitors. But don't let these people play the God game, man. They not gods. They more devils, if anything. Devils in the flesh. These dudes walking around thinking they cute. They walking around trying to be thugs. Like Mr. Mike said in one of his songs. I think it was Where's the Love At back in the 90s. He said, everybody in the hood trying to act like they hard. The hardest thing about being hard is being real. And Mr. Mike was one of the most underestimated rappers of all time, man. I mean, you talking social commentary. A little bit of that stuff we'll need to hear, but social commentary in his songs, like mixed with a lot of gangsterism and Mac behavior, just one of the most underestimated rappers of all time. But that was deep what he said. The hardest thing about being hard is being real. That's the hardest thing. Because if these dudes was keeping it real, the murder rate would just practically go down to nothing. They being fake. None of them want to go to jail. So they being fake. You doing things to prove points, but you want to cover your face up. You don't really want to go to prison. So you're not being real, like he said. The hardest thing about being hard is being real. You really didn't want to shoot at those guys. You did it because you think those other dudes who started that garbage is your friends. And some of y'all, if you that cowardly, stop playing the God game. Move to another city and stop talking to them dudes. You'll preserve your freedom. You'll preserve your life. You don't got a gang bang, man. Just move. Just stop going to the set. That's all you got to do. You secretly want to be good in school and have good grades. But because you from this hood or that hood, you won't do it. Just move. Get you a little job, work, come home, go to sleep. They be like, where you at, man? Why you don't be with us, man? You know, what's up, blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, man, it ain't that. Keep doing right. Get your money up and move. Get away from them dudes. Keep living. You're going to die dealing with, some of y'all going to die dealing with the people that's playing the God game that you deal with. You're going to lose your life, man. I had a friend in college that as long as it was just me, one of our other friends who was from the same city as him, and him, we just was acting goofy, playing video games, just having fun. He started hanging with these other guys. Now he not going to class. He not enrolled in school. He just trying to get high and act like he cool. And we still was hanging with him. That was our guy. But once I didn't go back to school, well, I'm finna show you something. And this video is kind of long, but it's important. When I didn't go back to school, I used to talk to them on those burnout phones back in the 90s. One of my associates that I was calling a friend back then gave me a burnout phone, and I called them up, and they were still down there in college, like, hey man, what happened, man? Why you ain't coming back? I said, man, I'm up here getting money, blah, blah, blah. Dealing with people that was playing the God game that ain't around right now. So he still was at school. He even ended up playing football in college. Like our goal, me and his goal, we were playing semi-pro. We were on the same semi-pro / minor league team. And you know, those teams back then were getting scouted, so on and so forth. And we said, what we're going to do is we're going to play here for a season. Then we're going to go back and try out for our college team. And so I didn't go back to school. I got on some garbage. He did, and he ended up playing on the team, but he had one problem, though. He was still hanging with those guys that he shouldn't have been hanging with. So our other friend was still in school. And when I told him, he didn't know. They lived in the same city. And I knew that the guy I'm talking about was murdered, but he didn't. So when I told him, he got quiet. You know, I'm still talking, and he got quiet for a couple minutes. And then he said, last time I saw such and such, we had a heart-to-heart talk. And I tried to tell him, those guys you hang with, man, they ain't headed nowhere, man, blah, blah, blah. He tried to tell him. But because people were playing the God game at that college, he listened to them and followed the other guys instead. Because people thought they were cooler. People thought they looked better than our other friend. You know, people knew him, and some people were cool with him, some people didn't like him though. So who did he, instead of listening to him, he listened to all the rest of them. A couple of them are dead as well. This God game stuff is very important, man. You got to know when to cut people off. You got to know who to deal with, who not to deal with. People playing the God game, you wasting money trying to support them. You wasting money trying to support them. I've seen some content creators will acknowledge to the end their supporters, and they deserve support for doing that. Other ones, they don't really, like, they'll mention it, but they don't deal with it. Playing the God game. That's the God game. You're playing the God game. Boy. Some of y'all might have to cut off your own siblings. Like, how are you benefiting dealing with them? How do they talk to you? How do they treat you? Do they use you because the other people won't deal with them? You got to eliminate that God game. You got to deal with them based on who they are if you're going to deal with them. You might have to tell them, I ain't going to lie to you. You shouldn't be telling me nothing because you can't even get off drugs. That's how you got to deal with people that's playing the God game. It could be somebody that's older than you that think they smarter than you, but they really dumb, the stuff they do and say. You got to deal with them like that. You trying to tell me, but you're not smart. Remember you see what I'm saying? That's how you got to deal with people. Either you cut them off or you deal with them based on who they are and tell them the truth. You tell them the truth one time, if they keep doing that thing, like if they keep like not acknowledging your kids but acknowledging other kids, not acknowledging your grandkids or your grandkids but acknowledging, if they play that game, man, that's the God game. You might have to cut them off because they're going to negatively affect your life. There's people who are business minded, but they try to make it with jobs because they don't know how to deal with people who are playing the God game. They think they're better than you. You need to pass them up. You need to become more successful than them and disregard all of their negative comments that will keep you down and keep you underneath them. If they want to play this game like they better and got more than you, then you focus on the Most High and passing them up. It's perfectly right. The Bible says he prepares a table for you in the presence of your enemies. Some of y'all need to pass some people up and post that on Facebook. Stop trying to tell people stuff. They don't even listen to you. They too dumb. Some of them. Some of them got a negative perception of you. But anyway, make sure you watch the whole video. This is important for you to learn. I'm going to write a book on this. This is important. You have to know who to cut off. You have to know who not to listen to. Some people you might have to be a little meaner with. Don't let your kids disrespect you because they playing the God game or they listening to somebody that's playing the God game on you. You gonna show me my respect. Tell them that. Or I don't want to see your face. I don't care. Okay, get out. And if you have to cut somebody off, do not feel sorry for them. Thanks for watching. This is The Truth, man. The channel is No Matrix. No letting people play the God game. This is part 1. Because I got to show you what this is. I can't just show you in one instant. I got to keep telling you about this God game that people's playing on all this social media, streaming videos. Listen, because you knew somebody since kindergarten, that do not mean you should be dealing with it. No simping, all subjects channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow with more videos.